Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Rampage. That Rampage theme song is just stuck in my head right now, and I'm just trying to get it out. Now, we did start off with the Butcher already in the ring, and here's Mark Briscoe's music, and he comes on out, and everybody and their mama is happy to see Pastor Briscoe. So am I. So am I. You already know when you see the Butcher, he's not winning. He's not winning at all. But I think he's a tremendous wrestler. And, honestly, I would take a little more priority with him to see what you can get out of him. And not just that, when the Blade was in better health, he could have been something. I think that they're a really great tag team. But nowadays, we're seeing more of the Butcher since the Blade recently had surgery. So this is definitely one of those little warm-up matches for Pastor Briscoe, who is putting the Ring of Honor World title on the line again against Chris Jericho on Dynamite. Very nervous about that because I don't know where we're going with that. If Chris Jericho wins that title, Tony Khan, I'm calling and you better answer. Mark Briscoe ends up taking the win. I thought this was a pretty great opener. And, matches like this make people probably see why having a wrestler like the Butcher who never wins, but they keep him around because he helps other wrestlers look great as well. And while that's a great thing, I still feel like there are people who needs to be given some more opportunities to at least get a couple of wins here and there, because these wrestlers, every single one of them are really, really great. And unfortunately, it's always those very few people that seems to be taking all the win. Now, speaking of that, while Pastor Briscoe is celebrating, his music stopped and we heard another music on, and it's Kyle O'Reilly's theme. And to be completely honest with you, I had no clue what that shit sounded like because he's constantly coming out with the other members of the conglomeration. And then Orange Cassidy came out walking with him too, just on the stage. But just seeing Orange Cassidy just ruined my day. Oh my God, I cannot stand this guy. So Kyle O'Reilly comes out there, meets up with Pastor Briscoe, and they're happy. They're celebrating, especially since Kyle O'Reilly knows he's going to beat Aaron Solo. Aaron Solo, I don't know what it is. He had his hair, he had like pigtails, and it was braided back, and something about it. I was just like, oh, this is a new look for you. And this time he was wearing trunks. He normally wears pants. Yes, I pay attention to little things like this, especially the ladies, especially when we got no man at home. These are my men. All these guys here on WWE, AEW, New Japan, everything, they're my men, okay? So I'm paying attention to them. And he is such a great wrestler. He really is. From time to time, they use him on Ring of Honor when they remember he's still employed. And then here we are with him getting some TV time. It's been quite some time. The last time, I can't really think of the last match he's had like on AEW, but he was part of the whole QTV thing that they were doing, which was going nowhere anyway. He has a really great match with Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly, in my opinion, is not a squash guy. So I'm looking at this and I'm just like, well, Aaron Solo, I don't know if is he part of AEW? I have no clue, but he's been there quite a bit. And now Aaron Solo, he's actually from that area. Where the hell were they taping? I have no clue. This was from Wednesday night, and he's getting cheered, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice for a change to hear people cheering for Aaron Solo. Great match, not quite a squash, which I was appreciative of. Kyle O'Reilly ends up taking the win for this little warm-up, because after this match, he ends up calling out Kazuchika Okada, and he goes, look here, bitch. I want to get my hands on you at Battle of the Belts, and I want that Continental title. While I'm actually happy to see these two guys get at it in the ring, why can't we get a little feud? Why can't we get a couple of weeks of them going at it? They only had one little back and forth, calling bitches and all that stuff at with Wrestle Dream, and that was pretty much it. And it was just like less than 2 minutes of them getting into a little scuffle, and then they got kicked out of the building or whatever, and that was pretty much it. Nothing else came out of this other than Kyle O'Reilly tonight pretty much saying, bring your bitch ass out, I'm gonna whoop your ass and take the title from your Battle of the Belts. I wish there was more. Battle of the Belts, in my opinion, I don't care too much for it, because really they don't have strong builds going into Battle of the Belts. And maybe once, just once, has titles ever changed hands on this. So it's just like people don't really care for it because they're not anticipating anything in terms of title changing hands, especially when you don't have any strong anything going into this. So, whatever. So now after that, we do have Jamie Hayter, who's being interviewed. She told Renee Paquette there ain't nothing but backstabbing bitches all over AEW. And you know what? She's right. It's not just the girls. It's some of the men too. A couple of them over there backstabbing bitches too. And she's coming after Penelope Ford. She said, look, I'm going to be on Collision. And I need a match. So since you wanted to put your nose in my business the other night when I could have gotten a chance to go for the AEW Women's Championship, why don't you come meet me on Saturday? Now, I'm happy to at least hear Penelope Ford's name being mentioned on AEW. But still, this is another situation where it's just like, oh, Penelope had just ruined your opportunity to get a title. There's no story. There's no nothing going on. And it's just like people actually want to see something play out before people actually having a match. This doesn't have to happen for every situation. But this right here would have been nice to see these two girls get a little bit of TV time in between the time that they first started this little feud and when they actually have their match. But, we'll see what happens on Collision. After this, we do have Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo. They're somewhere in a really dark room cutting a promo talking about family and loyalty and all that stuff. It's still, once again, giving us that typical Jersey Italian mafia vibes, which I really do like. We have not seen a payoff yet with this. We still need a little bit more time before we get a chance to see what these two girls are going to do. I do like the two of them together. The fashions is definitely coming through. However, we need more. I wouldn't even mind them at some point having another person in this group. So far, it's just been quite a few promos, but not much action. And I'm all about action. Less talking, more action. Now after this, we do have Anna Jay versus Trisha Dora in a really great women's match. We have Mariah May on commentary talking shit about Anna Jay the entire time. And I thought this was really strong for Anna Jay. Anna Jay, who had been gone throughout the summer, she went over to Stardom. And I really feel like this match, so she's been back, I think this is actually the match that I've seen where I'm just like, okay, you have definitely learned something over there. So I did enjoy this. And plus, Trisha Dora, she's amazing. Trisha Dora will bring the best out of anybody anyway. I did enjoy this. However, the predictability, though, I get it. They are going for Anna Jay versus Mariah May for Battle of the Belts, which is, again, tomorrow after Collision. I think that something about this feels a little bit more interesting because we have a couple of weeks of these two girls having a little bit of exchange and getting into it backstage or whatever, which I do appreciate them actually kind of prioritizing for a little show like Battle of the Belts. But Anna Jay has definitely improved. I wish my girl Trisha Dora could just get some wins here and there. But unfortunately, Tony Khan has other things to do. Now after this, we also have Harley Cameron, who is back there. Renee Paquette is just like, so where the hell is Saraya? Like, is she alright? And she says she's incapacitated. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, that explains something. Harley, has a match with Chris Statlander. So prayers for Harley. I will say this. Harley, she's ditzy, but I like her. I think she's kind of funny and she's entertaining. And I do feel like she's actually been improving, although she's probably one of the least experienced, well, probably is the least experienced girl in AEW, but she's definitely grown on me. So, although the prayers are still needed for Harley for her match against Chris Statlander tomorrow, I do feel like there's a bright future for Harley. So now, before we talk about the main event, we had these promos, these quick little promos from 3 tag teams. So next Friday on Rampage, there is going to be a 3-way tag match. Now we have the Kingdom doing a little promo. Then we have Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. And then, Lord have mercy, Tony Khan, you came through with having the Gates of Agony cutting the promo as well. These boys are just, oh my God, Bishop Khan, Lord have mercy. And then, I felt like everybody here was strong. And I'm about to get into it in a second. Strong little promos from everyone. These three teams I feel like are very promising, and to do a three-way tag match would be actually pretty great. And something that the Gates of Agony said, there was just like, oh, Brian Cage, you forgot us. Swerve, you forgot us. Prince Nana, you swerved us. And then they're just like, you know what, we're gonna make a name for ourselves. Like, it was really, really strong, and something about this really made me want to see Gates of Agony take the win. Now, typically, everybody here is typically a heel, so that's really, really interesting. I can see the Gates of Agony kind of creeping out of this as baby faces. Maybe we'll see. And I felt like this was great. Why? Because here we have our main event, Private Party versus MXM Collection. Yes, this happened quite, I don't know, like 2-3 months ago, whatever, and this time there's a rematch between them. And I have to say, Daddy Magic and them on commentary, over it. Now, I'm telling you, Rampage has consistently felt, to me, these past couple of months, where it's just like, if you want to see the best tag team matches, come on over to Rampage. It just feels more like you're seeing the tag team division cook on Rampage. And I wish we could see a little bit more of that on Dynamite as well, because nobody really is watching Rampage anyway. Well, except for me and a couple of other people. But it would be nice to see these guys also on the bigger shows cooking too. But consistently, I've been seeing really great matchups along the tag team division that has been non-existent for quite some time. They're looking great. This was a really strong main event. MXM Collection, the chemistry is just absolutely damn near perfect. Private Party, the same as well. Perfect. They said that Rico couldn't be there because he was not cosmetically cleared to be on the show. And I'm just like, that's a new excuse. That's new. Actually, I like that. Now, Private Party, they lost their opportunity to win the tag team champions from the Young Bucks, which was, I feel like, a mistake, Tony Khan. However, they're still proving why they should, get an opportunity, at least a rematch to, getting another opportunity to get in those titles. And MXM Collection, too, they're pretty impressive. Mason, holy shit, this guy is fucking tall. He's huge. And then there are some times in the match where he's just like a fucking monster. And I know, like, with the whole characters that they're doing, some people probably just don't see them that way, but there absolutely are, especially Mason. He's definitely the muscle of the group. And don't count out Mansoor, because this guy is fucking talented too. When I see these teams, I feel hopeful for the tag division, despite the Young Bucks hogging the titles for no fucking reason. And y'all know me, I love heels, but the Young Bucks, they're just not doing enough in terms of being heels and what they can do. They're not offering anything to the tag division. So seeing teams like Private Party and MXM Collection kill it in the main event, it was really, really great to see. However, last time MXM beat Private Party, this time Private Party ends up taking the win, which I enjoy. So now they both got a win over each other, and we'll see them running back at some point in the future. I'm happy to see tag team wrestling feeling a little bit more important again, even though it's just on Rampage. But we see here that next week we're going to see the 3 more teams step up to the plate. Everybody want to get gold. That's what wrestling's about. Nobody wants to just sit there and catering and eat up all the food. We want gold. So I'm happy to see a little bit more of a priority within the tag division. So you guys, tomorrow we have Collision and Battle of the Belts right after that. And it's going to be an interesting show. It was already taped, so some people already know what happened. Whatever the situation is, I'm hoping for a good show. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back tomorrow with a watch-along for Collision and Battle of the Belts and a review on both those shows if you don't watch me there. I'll see you guys then. Bye.